Welcome to our first edition of the 12 albums of Atlas, holiday editions. This one right here, Dolly, can you see this? Dolly and Kenny Rogers. This thing was a huge hit. Came out in 1984. It had a TV special that kind of was released around the same time, the same week-ish. Most of the songs on this thing, Dolly Parton wrote. I'm going to read the back of the songs because some of them are really great. I Believe in Santa Claus, Christmas Without You, and With Bells On was one of her big ones. The biggest hit of this album actually was a cover, which is called Hard Candy Christmas. I thought she wrote that. She did not. Let's see. One of the songs on here still gets played on country radio around this time of year, which is called A Christmas to Remember. It's very cheesy, very 80s, and very awesome. The next one we've got for you is A Very She and Him Christmas. Now this is the first one of their holiday episodes, or first one of their holiday albums that they made and put out. I think there's 2 or 3. One of the best things about this one is they do a gender swap version of Baby It's Cold Outside, so that's kind of fun. The percussion on this thing was done by Jim Keltner, and if you're a music nerd, probably like, I don't know, Mike Spees or somebody, you'd know this guy. Maybe Dolan knows him. He is a percussionist slash drummer, and he's played with everyone from, I have a long list, Joe Cocker, all of the Beatles, solo and with like Wings, Neil Young, Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, Gillian Welch, Lucinda Williams, Charlie Watts and his jazz band that he did from the side of the Rolling Stones, Crosby, Stills, Nash, Simon and Garfunkel, Elton John, John Mayer, Eric Clapton's Christmas album that came out last year. The list goes on and on. The executive producer of this thing was a guy named Mike Post, and if you are about my age or maybe a little older, you will know him as the father of the TV theme song. So he did songs from Rockford Files, Magnum P.I., Quantum Leap, The A-Team, NYPD Blue. If it was awesome and about 20 seconds long, that was probably him, a TV theme song by Mike Post. All of the money that they got from this went to charity, which was cool, and it peaked at number 12 on the Billboard Top 100 album. They have a separate Billboard list for holiday albums, but this one cracked the regular and made it all the way to number 12. And last but not least for this episode, Elvis. This is his second holiday album. Came out about 13 years after the first one, something like that. It was recorded in June, which is the best time of year to record holiday album, I think. And that was in 1968 when one of the songs, Blue Christmas, was recorded. Then they took that Blue Christmas and they stuck it on this one in 1971. This was his 15th studio album. So by that time he'd already done 2. This was his second holiday album. And there is some harmonica on this thing. And I wrote the guy's name down because I wanted to know a little bit more about him, and it's Charlie McCoy. He played on some of the most famous Bob Dylan songs, Johnny Cash songs, Steve Miller Band, Chris Christopherson, Paul Simon, and that Fox and Margaret. Ooh, yeah, I like her. This has a song on it called It Won't Seem Like Christmas, which is really good. And then the other one I really enjoyed is Silver Bells. That's an old traditional one. I hear some silver bells right now in the background. Maybe one of the reindeers here. So that's going to do it for our first episode today of the 12 LPs of Atlas. Stay tuned for another video later on this week and to see if one of your favorite albums makes the cut. Up top, you might notice Spotify links for all of these albums. Make sure you check them out. Most holiday albums are like 30 minutes long, so you don't have to invest a lot of time to, feel good inside from this music. And then we're going to ask for you to comment below on this video. Let us know your favorites. If you have listened to these albums, we'd like to know the songs you like, or if you've got your own personal holiday favorites, shoot it to us. Maybe we'll add it to our Atlas Christmas playlist that I protect with my life. So if your song makes the cut, I'll put it on there. Thanks for watching, everybody, and tune in for next week's episode.